Ever fantasized about becoming an astronaut, floating in zero gravity, and gazing at Earth from space? But have you ever wondered what this dreamy journey might do to your body? As fascinating as the cosmos may be, it's not exactly a friendly neighborhood for humans. Just like how a fish can't survive on land, our bodies too have their own share of struggles in space. So what exactly happens up there? Well, brace yourself as we dive into the cosmic consequences of long-duration spaceflights on the human body. First things first, gravity, or the lack thereof, plays a major role in how your body adjusts to space travel. Now imagine this. You're floating in a spaceship a million miles away from home, and suddenly you feel like a feather. That's zero gravity for you. High above the Earth, gravity is less of a bossy boots and more of a no-show, which sounds like fun until you realize what it does to your body. Without gravity, your muscles start throwing a fit. You see, back on Earth, your muscles are constantly working, even when you're doing something as simple as standing or sitting. But in space, they get a vacation they never asked for. They're like, hey, we're not needed here, let's pack up and leave. This is what we call muscle atrophy. You can think of it as your muscles going on strike. The longer you're in space, the more they protest. And trust me, you don't want to see what a picket line of muscles looks like. And it's not just your muscles throwing a tantrum, your bones join the party too. On Earth, our bones are always remodeling themselves, breaking down old bone and building new. But in space, the breaking down part happens faster than the building up part. It's like your bones are having a demolition party without inviting new construction. This leads to bone density loss, and let me tell you, brittle bones are no laughing matter, even if they do make you feel like a bird. So, while floating around like a space balloon might sound like a blast, it's not all fun and games. Your body will have to adjust to these changes, and it won't be easy. You'll have to exercise twice as hard just to keep your muscles and bones from throwing their cosmic tantrum. So if you were planning on flexing your muscles in space, you might want to reconsider. As if losing your hard-earned muscles wasn't enough, your heart, too, has a tough time in space. That's right, folks, even your trusty ticker isn't immune to the cosmic capers of zero gravity. So what's the deal with our hearts in the weightless wonderland of space? Well, the heart is a muscle and it's used to working against the force of gravity. Here on Earth, it pumps blood upwards to our brains, a task that requires some pretty hefty lifting. But in space, there's no up or down, no heavy lifting needed. The heart, in a sense, gets a bit of a vacation. Now, you might think that sounds like a good deal. A little R&R for the old heart muscle, right? But here's the catch. Like any muscle, the heart can get a bit, well, lazy without regular exercise. Over time, in the absence of gravity, the heart can actually change shape, becoming more spherical. And it's not just the heart shape that changes. The volume of blood in the body reduces as well. Back home on Earth, our bodies are accustomed to pumping a certain volume of blood. But in space, without gravity pulling blood towards the feet, the body over time reduces the total volume of blood. It's the body's way of saying, hey, we don't need all this extra blood, let's get rid of some. The result? A rounder heart working less hard and a body with less blood to pump around. Sounds like a recipe for a cardiovascular caper if there ever was one. But don't worry, our bodies are amazing at adapting. Astronauts undergo rigorous training before and after their space voyages to help their bodies adjust. And scientists are constantly researching ways to minimize these effects of long-duration space flights. So, remember, space is not for the faint-hearted, quite literally. Now let's move to the head. No gravity means your sensory system goes haywire. That's right, folks. Space isn't just about floating around like a superhero. It's more akin to being the world's clumsiest acrobat. Let's start with your eyes. You know those moments when you stand up too fast and everything goes blurry? Well, imagine that, but all the time. In space, without the pull of gravity, your body fluids float upwards. This includes the fluids in your eyes, which can lead to a condition called spaceflight-associated neuroocular syndrome, or SANS for short. This could change the shape of your eyeballs, and your vision can go from 20/20ths to needing a pair of bifocals. And it's not just your eyes that are in for a surprise. Your sense of balance takes a hit too. On Earth, your inner ear is responsible for your sense of balance. But in space, without gravity, your brain gets confused. It's like being on a never-ending roller coaster, without the fun part of screaming your lungs out with your friends. You might be thinking, well, I can just close my eyes, right? Not so fast. Even with your eyes closed, your brain still gets mixed signals. It's like trying to walk straight after spinning around in circles for a minute. Except, in this case, the spinning never stops. But don't worry, astronauts aren't left to stumble around like they've had one too many. they undergo training to help their brains adapt to these changes. So they're more likely to float with grace rather than tumble around like a clumsy ballerina. Living in space is like being part of a grand cosmic ballet, where you're constantly learning new steps. It's challenging, it's exciting, and it's definitely not for the faint-hearted. So if you're planning to enjoy the celestial sights, make sure you're ready for a bit of a sensory roller coaster ride. So, after hearing all these out-of-the-world effects, you might wonder, is space travel really worth it? In the cosmic dance of the universe, we're just beginners. But let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We've dived deep into the effects of long-duration space flights and how they impact our bodies. From the gravitational gags that mess with our sense of balance to the cardiovascular capers that can alter our heart's shape and function, the challenges are plentiful and complex. And let's not forget the sensory shenanigans that can play tricks on our eyesight, taste, and even smell. It's a veritable cosmic roller coaster, an adventure that tests the limits of human endurance and resilience. But we're not just passive explorers, succumbing to the whims of the universe. No, we're active participants, constantly adapting, learning, and evolving. The human body is a marvel of biological engineering. It's capable of adapting to environments as diverse as the highest mountains and the deepest oceans. So, why not space? With every mission, every astronaut, we learn more about our body's remarkable ability to adjust and withstand the rigors of space travel. However, we're not just relying on our body's natural adaptability. Scientists and researchers are working tirelessly to uncover new methods to mitigate the effects of space travel. From advanced exercise regimes to innovative radiation shields, the solutions are as varied as the challenges we face. Space travel pushes the boundaries of what we know and understand about ourselves and the universe. It's a daunting journey, filled with unknowns and uncertainties. But it's also an exciting adventure, one that fuels our curiosity and drives our quest for knowledge. We're not just exploring the universe, we're also exploring the depths of human potential. We're learning what it means to be a spacefaring species, to live and thrive beyond the confines of our home planet. So, is space travel worth it? The answer may be subjective and complex, but one thing is clear. Our journey into the cosmos is just beginning. As we continue to reach for the stars, remember, every giant leap for mankind starts with a small step, and maybe a few space-induced hiccups along the way. Well, that's our cosmic journey for today. We hope you enjoyed this interstellar trip through the human body. Let's quickly recap what we've learned. We've delved into the gravitational gags that play with our sense of balance, and explored the cardiovascular capers that our hearts and blood vessels perform in the absence of gravity. We've also delved into the sensory shenanigans, understanding how our senses adapt to space's unique environment. And finally, we've stitched it all together to understand the overall effects of long-term space flights on our bodies. Isn't the human body a marvel? Always adapting, always evolving, even in the vast, unexplored expanse of space? If you found this journey as fascinating as we did, do consider sharing this video with your friends and fellow space enthusiasts. Let's spread this cosmic knowledge far and wide. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more interstellar trips planned for you. From the mysteries of black holes to the wonders of alien life, we'll be exploring all corners of the cosmos together. Remember, every new subscriber is another astronaut joining us on this journey through the stars. So strap in and get ready for a wild ride through the universe. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground and your curiosity among the stars. Over and out.